10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All systems go.
You're listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by.
On the morning shift.
Anything
Could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Glad to be here with you. Thankful that you're here with us. We're live on CKLU 96.7 FM on the radio, terrestrial radio. We're also streaming live at cklu.ca on the internet. And it is our Pledge Week. We're second day into Pledge Week here at CKLU. Visit the website and rate smack dab. As soon as you get there, there'll be the welcome page, donate now button. So whatever it is that you're able to support, help support the station. We appreciate that. It's you. You put the U in CKLU. We've been around since 1984. Your campus and community radio. It's where local people can get on the airwaves, share their thoughts, their opinions, share their passions, whether it be music or spoken word, you name it. We got to keep it alive. So if you're able to, head to cklu.ca as part of Pledge Week. Make a pledge. We have a really great schedule of local celebrities and people that support the station that are putting on their own shows during the week all the way to next Monday, because this Monday was a holiday, so it's going to continue to next Monday. Check out all the people there. You're going to recognize a lot of the names. Yesterday, Judy Strawn and a friend were on, and they were talking wine, I believe. And yeah, and they sent out an email, old school, to everyone, because Facebook, CKLU can't even have a Facebook page due to the government regulations on sharing of news on Facebook. Our Facebook page has been recently taken off as well for that same policy. But we are live in the United States of America and throughout the world on Facebook this morning. Everywhere else except for Sudbury in Canada, due to the government regulations prohibiting news from being posted, shared, you name it, commented on Facebook, the world's largest social media platform. But we are live right here in Sudbury on YouTube at Sudbury.com, at youtube.com/Sudbury News. And we're also found on demand on YouTube, along with x.com/Sudbury News and our local news aggregator, which is Sudbury.news. We will kick things off with a little bit of weather, then we'll be back with our special guests today, Tom Price and Bob Johnston. And it's always an interesting conversation, and we always have extra people on who want to keep an ear on what's happening from the city. We always get extra people listening when Tom and Bob are on, and we always get comments afterwards, so we'll see what happens today. Anyways, we'll be back with them after the weather. Stay tuned. And Sudbury weather brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. Currently it's minus 11. Feels like minus 19 out there. Yes, so very cold. Today, increasing cloudiness early this morning, 60% chance of snow late this afternoon, like we need it. And wind will be gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour, high of minus 6. Wind chill, minus 19 in the morning and minus 13 this afternoon. Tonight, cloudy, 60% chance of snow this evening. Periods of snow beginning late this evening. 2 centimeters is predicted. And wind will be gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour, low of minus 9. Wind chill near minus 16. Thursday, which is tomorrow, cloudy, becoming a mix of sun and cloud in the morning. Wind gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour and high of minus 1. Wind chill minus 17 in the morning, minus 6 in the afternoon. And then overnight, cloudy with high of minus 5. Friday, plus 1. 70% chance of snow. And then Saturday, 60% chance of snow, minus 2. Minus 4 with a 30% chance of snow on Sunday. Sunny on Monday and Tuesday. We'll believe it when we see it. -10 for both of those days. That is your Sudbury weather, brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. Back with Tom Price and Bob Johnson right after this. Okay, here we are. And I just like to say to those that are commenting today, because we really appreciate you being on the show, whether you've been on since the beginning, you've come on along with the ride, later on in the show, in the show's history, or you're brand new, welcome. And we'll get your comments up on the screen for those watching. And if I'm able to, during this conversation, keep an eye on some of your comments. I'll also pass those on to Bob and Tom as we're talking this morning. So good morning, Bob. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. And how are you, my friend?
I'm doing not too bad. I'm tired. I've been tired for a long time. And it just seems the way things go. Sleep isn't my number one thing that I'm good at, I guess. I don't get the greatest sleeps in the world, and I think it's taking its toll. Maybe I just have to take down some of my stressors, but working on it. When I find out the solution, I'll let everyone know. So what's new? What's the latest, greatest in the world for you these days?
Well, I got a few rude comments about the exploitation of the homeless, making videos, etc. We had a fantastic weekend. We had Valentine's Day, then we had Family Day. I was out on both days. The way that people were lit up and so happy and stuff, it was amazing. And no, I'm not saying that it's right for all, but after 15 years of doing this, the bonding and relationship I made with these people are just straight through the roof. It's amazing. Oh Bob, I'm not doing it for a photo op, because I've been doing it for 15 years, like I said. So it is what it is. The people who want to stay at home, sit on your couch and comment, go ahead. I will not be responding to any comments like that. We're moving forward in a positive way, and I hope we can all join the bandwagon.
Okay. And so what kind of things are people saying when you say exploiting the homeless? What are some of the things they're saying?
Such as you don't have to go out with your camera to do a good deed, and et cetera, stuff like that. And to me, like, it makes no sense. I get permission from everybody. I had one guy go, "Oh, did you sign all the consent forms?" Excuse me? You know what I mean? I always ask them, you guys mind going on, whatever. And to me, they get so excited and happy that someone actually wants to listen to them and show their story. And like I said, I'm doing it in a totally different way, showing the respect and the love for them. And they know that. Like, if you watch my videos, they'll even say, "Oh, thank you. We love you," et cetera. And, but like I said, it's going to go on and it's going to move forward. I was very amazed and surprised that the fire department reached out, made sure that everything was okay with the barrel, made sure all the wood was coming in, there was no issues. And I give that guy a thumbs up, the fire chief.
Yeah, for sure. Good on the fire department to be able to do this. And like you said, you've been doing this for 15 years, and so you feel very comfortable. You're in your element when you're with the vulnerable in downtown Sudbury and throughout. Now, can you see how some people could take that as exploitation in some ways? Like, to me, it's not that far off of a criticism for somebody to say that, because it is something that could be exploited, right? So to me, it's like, if someone's just coming in and seeing it, possibly for the first time, I could see why they would say that, because it's politics, right? And so we're used to people exploiting different things and issues in politics, correct?
Well, exactly. But I just, you should be doing a little bit more facts and the truth of why, what, when, how, etc., etc. And if I see negativity in any homeless, I would stop immediately. But there is no negativity whatsoever. Like Tom says, when I pull in there, they light up like a Christmas tree. And I'm not trying to toot my horn. I'm just saying the facts.
For sure. Now, just one word of caution or whatever, just something I've observed in that, I guess, I don't know how often you've done this, but giving out free gift cards and things like that on camera. I don't know if this will ever come back, but it could be interpreted as bribing for votes type of thing. Just so you're aware of that. If you ever don't want anyone to come back, and I don't know if you've done any research into that or whatever. I just remember when I was involved in politics, I said, hey, we're just going to have a big pizza party or whatever. And they said, oh, no, you can't do that because then that's looked at as paying people, especially on voting days. Say, hey, everyone come out for some free pizza and, we'll take a bus down to the voting station or whatever. And they said, no, it's against protocol and stuff like that. Have you done any looking into stuff like that?
You know what? Number one, I'm not a politician. Number two, I'm for the people. And if I could put a smile on their face before I put a smile on mine, I will. Because like I said, it's amazing the respect I get from these people. And I'm not buying nothing. In fact, those gift cards came from a donation. When I get donations, I give them out right away. I don't.
Nice.
That's not my money.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
So
Yep.
Exactly. So the thing is a lot of people feel uncomfortable with them. So I'll do the job. I got no problem with that. I'm not trying to buy any votes. It's not like it was my money and I went in and said, give me this or give me that. So, at the end of the story, think about what you're saying, think about what you're stating, and put their shoes on for 10 minutes and understand what they're going through. So we had 2 great days out at Energy Court and we housed one person.
Nice. Now, I also know
exactly.
you guys had some pretty big advocacy. You had a lot of people from Manitoulin Island coming in and supporting as well, I noticed. And there's been more than one group, I think, too, right? So tell us a little bit about the people from Manitoulin that have come.
The Indigenous right now, Energy Court is running at about 70%. And that's through the community altogether. And they want to help their culture the best they can. I love their culture and I'll work with them anytime. In fact, this Saturday they're coming up. They're going to do a soup, dessert, and dinner rolls. And there again, the 90% of that's all donated. Regency Bakery is giving us our dinner rolls, etc., etc. So there's no buying. There's caring and loving, and that's the difference. And for the people who can't understand that, well, you better find some solid ground to move forward because you're the one who's going to be in trouble, not me.
And again, it's when you put your hat in the ring, you said you're not a politician, but if you're running for mayor, let's say you won, then you would become a politician, right? So you would be one. Even if you're reluctant to call yourself one, right?
The difference between me running as a non-politician is because I don't believe in corruption. I cannot be bought. I am to help out everybody across the board. All the crises in Sudbury has to be fixed. So yeah, I'm not going in there for myself. I'll go in there and work as hard as I usually do on a day-to-day basis, year after year after year for Sudbury. And we'll take it from there.
Well, I think that resonates with a lot of people for sure who want integrity, transparency, accountability. It's something we haven't had, I don't believe, in a long time. And so it's refreshing to even entertain that thought. And on that note, I know we wanted to talk a little bit about the award that's going to be given out for one of the contractors that came into the city, and there's a bit of a controversy with him paving the roads with his innovative paving machine that recycles pavement. But I want to get to that.
So,
Is there anything else you wanted to add before we kind of got to that?
yeah, well, just before Tom gets into the roads,
Yeah,
let's talk about the way the street condition is. Let's
Sure.
talk about let's talk the big safety issue of the fire hydrants not shoveled out.
yeah, exactly.
What-
I think you shared something yesterday about that, right? And what area of the city were those pictures coming from? You said, I think, Ward 11.
Yeah, the last ones I sent you were Ward 11. The ones about me getting stuck in the middle of Whitaker Street is in Ward 1. So it's right across the whole city. I got
Okay.
a lot of comments, Garson, et cetera, et cetera. And now with the weather being the way it is, all the potholes are coming out. Oh, speaking about potholes, here's Tom Price.
Oh, okay. That's that's an interesting segue there. Okay, I was just getting some of those pictures up, but for some reason my Facebook isn't responding. So it is what it is. Things happen. And good morning, Tom. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing not too bad. Not too bad. Like I said, I was tired.
Well, I
but
heard you
other
tell
than-
Bob that you're tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. But it
Well,
is, you know,
for-
it is.
Well, fortunately, I'm retired.
Yes, and some people can live vicariously through you in that regard, myself included. And so, roads, I know I got some pictures yesterday from some pictures. I'm just trying to get them up here that Bob shared. And just Facebook is being very clunky at the moment. It just chooses when it wants to do that. And it's usually when we're live, and I don't know how the correlation works with that, but it is what it is. So, anyways, these pictures are showing the roads being not shoveled correctly, not like around fire hydrants, especially. They're not shoveled out, and I can't maximize the pictures. Oh, here we go. Finally, now if I can get it bigger. So here we go. I just want to show it on the main screen here. There's a fire hydrant there. So if the fire trucks were to pull up, it could be cumbersome getting to any of the emergency things they need to get
Well,
to.
if
There's
you-
another
If you
picture.
look at the road condition, they might have trouble getting there to start with.
You're right. Look at that, eh? And that's how long after a snowfall? Because they give themselves, what, 24 hours to
Well,
clear
that's,
the
I think,
roads?
that's 3 or 4 days.
Interesting, yeah. So you can see the person walking there and the conditions. And these are on just residential streets in different areas in Sudbury. And who got these pictures? Were these just pictures from everyday citizens, or did Bob, did you go out and just take these yourself, or?
The one in Ward 1 I did, and the one in Ward 11, it was sent to me. Minnow
Okay.
Lake.
Okay. Well, it's one of these things for living in Sudbury. I remember years back there not being a problem with snow removal. I think we were top of the heap when it came to how to deal with winter and road safety and clearing the roads and making them safe and all that stuff for driving and walking and you name it, right? But I don't know. What's happened over the years. It was very much degraded to the point it is now. And that is a huge concern.
Well, there is a reason for that. We used to have managers, people who know how to manage the jobs and the work under their watch, and they did a good job of it. In 2001, we replaced the managers with administrators. Administrators need a book, and if it isn't in the book, they can't do it. They have allowed that to infest almost every aspect of our city's operation. And as long as you're doing it by the book, we're never going to have good conditions in this city. You need the managers, the people who know what's required, know how to do it within their mandates and within their budgets, and do it. And how do you get away from doing what they're doing now? Well, the only way is we have to get a better council, a council that recognizes the value of managing. Because right now, we haven't seen good management since 2001. And that's a crime. And I'm not saying they don't have the ability or anything, but if they do have the ability, they're certainly not practicing it. Like, we have situations where a road crew gets sent out to some of the rural roads to unplug a culvert, and they're given a steam jetty and shovels. But it's a known fact that the culvert isn't running because it's full of gravel at the other end. There should be a vacuum truck and a backhoe there to take the gravel out of the inlet to the culvert. And that should have been done in the fall before we got snow and ice. So that's just bad management. That's people at the top who are making these decisions don't know how to do their job. And are they being crooked? No, they're not. They just don't know how to do the job. Now, how do we educate them? I don't know, because we can't talk to these people. The city won't allow it, and council won't allow the public to talk to staff, to talk to the workers. And believe me, I've seen a crew work 3 days at trying to unplug a culvert that everybody knew was plugged with gravel at the other end on the road I live on.
And people tried telling them this, like they would go.
Oh yeah, I know the guys. I stopped and talked to them. I said, "Well, where's the backhoe?" "Well, we have it in our work order that we're to do it this way, Tom. And if we don't do it, we get reprimanded." Now, I won't tell you who the people were because they will get reprimanded. So, how do you deal with that? When you get better advice, a former roads guy at one of the roads out there, the crew came out and they're looking at a mud problem in the middle of the road. And I happened to be there with him at the time, the owner on the road. And we walked over and he said to the guys, "What are you doing?" "Oh," I said, we see the problem here and we're trying to figure out how to fix it." He said, "I've been in the roads department for 35 years, he said, before I retired. When there's a middle problem in the middle of the road, the first place you look is in the ditch. What's wrong with you people?" "Oh, well, okay." Said, "You got to get rid of the water. Don't you understand that?" Now, he was upset because he's been fighting this every year since he took retirement. Well, if you can't talk to the people in a good communication system back and forth with experience on your side, what have we come to?
So do you think these administrators that replaced managers have any real world experience in the areas that they're administering over?
If they do have, they're hiding it very, very well.
Because it used to be back in the day, you're an engineer and, you got experience doing that. And then the city hires you to manage that aspect of the city, whatever you're an engineer in, whether it be whatever. And yeah, you bring your real world experience, your education and all that to help inform the people doing the job in the city and help make decisions and plan ahead and all these things, right? And
Yeah.
do they hire people based on that? It's kind of like in politics too. You have ministers of all these areas who have no real world experience in those areas. The minister of education doesn't have that much of an education, never worked in the education system. The minister of public safety doesn't even know what a gun license is. You know what I mean? Like federally, that's documented and that's crazy. But is that the world we live in now?
Yes, it is. And as long as you have an accreditation from a university, it doesn't matter in what subject, as long as you got a BA or an MA or a PhD or a PEng or whatever, hey, you must know what you're talking about. Well, Well, quite frankly, that's only part of a person's education, and it's a small part, getting those degrees. The biggest part of our education comes from when we start doing things.
For sure.
And if they haven't done them, then how are they to know? Like, you know, and like I see it on my road. The guy that used to do the snow plowing on our road had experience. He lived in Perry Sound for a number of years and did snow clearing down there. When he came up here, the snow removal on our road became really good. He did it properly. He's retired now, and now Pioneer does it. And how do they assign their snowplow operators? Well, it's quite simple. If you walk in with an AZ license, you're given the keys to the truck and said, go to it. It's not that you've had any experience on plowing snow or on those roads, those particular roads. You don't know where the traps are. And there are traps. There are situations where you avoid them, you don't get stuck. But if you don't avoid them, and I say it as a joke, but it isn't a joke, annually, I have a turnaround at the end of my driveway. Annually, the heavy wrecker from Gobo or Johnny's Towing has to come out and unstick a snowplow or a blue box truck or a garbage truck from the end of my driveway. And it's not my driveway, it's the turnaround that the city provides. They send out blue box trucks. They give the guy a bag of salt. And if you get stuck on ice, put some salt down and get going. Well, salt makes it slipperier. Who's advising these drivers? Come on, you need grit. And
So
I
you-
don't know how many times I've taken some of my sand out, thrown under their wheels, and they get going.
So
I
you-
shouldn't have to do that.
So you witnessed this year after year.
After
Same
year
thing.
after year. One year they actually came down and had to turn around in my driveway. They did $2,000 worth of damage to a driveway I had just redone with gravel. So I billed the city. I'm still waiting for them to pay, but I'm adding their interest rate every year. When it reaches $30,000, I will take it to small claims court. Okay?
Yep.
Because I have the photos, I have all the proof. I have the bills for the gravel, everything. But hey, they dug holes almost 2 feet deep in my new driveway.
Wow. Yeah, I remember.
Never sent anybody out.
Yeah, I remember
never
one
sent-
time got hit a pothole. It was in about March, beginning of March, about 8-9 years ago. I was coming off of Highway 17, going where it turns into Lorne, taking the Big Nickel bypass just right as the off ramp goes to the Big Nickel Road. Huge pothole,
Yeah.
bang, and flat tire, bent my rim, flat tire. Had to call a buddy out and whatever, and it's freezing cold. And I look up ahead of me, there's 3 cars ahead of me on the side of the road. Same thing. They all
Yeah.
hit it and all had flat tires from it. So I called the city and they say, can we help you? I said, yeah, well, yeah, I just hit this pothole here and it's like, should have been taken care of. And I shouldn't get a flat tire from a pothole. I mean, I'm not even going all that fast. I'm on a merge onto an on-ramp. I don't understand. And he's go, okay, are you calling to complain or would you like? Yeah, I need someone to talk to. I need to know what I do to make a complaint. There needs to be some accountability. I spent about 45 minutes on hold and I just hung up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even give me an
Nobody
answering machine or anything to leave a message on. Just kept me on hold. And I thought to myself, I said, that's probably a tactic. Like, that's probably okay. They tell their operators, and I don't know this for sure. I have no idea. I just know my own experience. Like, why wouldn't I have just been routed to a voicemail, you know, if they're too busy or whatever, that I can explain and someone can get back to me. But I thought that was weird that I was just on hold. Usually you're on hold for a while and then it goes to a voicemail or something, but just on hold to the point where and you know what? And I thought of it. I said, what's going to happen? I'm going to get somebody. I'm going to file this thing It's going to just be years and years and years before anything happens anyways. And you're just confirming that from your experience now.
Oh, absolutely. And you have to notify them that the pothole's there and they have 24 hours to fix it before you get your damage. Excuse me? How can you notify 24 hours before the damage occurs? How is that possible?
Time travel. They do it, don't they? Can't it be done? So on the subject of roads, can you give us a little background on this recycling company that had come to Sudbury and got a contract to help pave our roads with this innovative machine, and what ended up happening? Because, you know, Sudbury is one of the most innovative cities there are, according to the city. We're very innovative, resourceful, and we got a lot to pound our chests about being extremely innovative, cutting edge, if you will. And so let us know what happened with this cutting edge, innovative company that came to Sudbury to help with our roads, which were already pristine. They're just going to help with them even more. You know what I mean? They're just going to help them be even better than they already are, as we have a reputation for great roads in Sudbury. But let us know what happened with this situation.
Well, a couple of quick things. First of all, I'm still waiting to find out something innovative that our city has done. Okay. And I'm not joking about that. I'm serious. This process is about as innovative as you get. And it's been proven many times before public clamor finally resulted in council wanting to do a test here in Sudbury. So they contracted with the company to do it. The company came up to do it as a pilot project, to take stretches of the road defined by the city and do resurfacing, recycling the surface material. Okay? And when they came in, they did some tests beforehand to determine what the road conditions were. Some of the roads weren't suitable because there was no base layer under the surface. There was a 2 inches of, not even 2 inches of topping, and then gravel. Well, none of our major roads in this city should be like that. There should be a 4-inch base of asphalt underneath the surface. So the roads were never originally constructed according to the conditions that are necessary to do resurfacing. Okay. When they started the work, they were given a crew of monitors from the city that had no clue of how to evaluate asphalt pavement. And AJ, I could go through the report that they put out with you, and I could point out time after time after time that demonstrates they had no clue. For example, they measured the smoothness of the pavement that this company put down across the width of the lane. When you're driving along, does the smoothness of the width bother you? Or would the smoothness in the direction of travel be a problem to you?
Direction of travel.
Most people that monitor smoothness on asphalt, they monitor the smoothness in the direction of travel. Well, we didn't. We monitored, and we have photos of them. The city provided photos of them measuring across the lane. Further, there's limits on what is acceptable in the direction of travel. They tried to apply those same limits across the lane, but they didn't use a straight edge. They used a piece of 2x2 aluminum tubing that isn't straight. Even the manufacturer's limitations and specifications tell you the amount out of straight for the standard tubes. To get a straight edge of it, they manufacture specific straight edges for the job. They never used those. On top of that, to measure the amount out of flat or out of straight, they didn't get a gauge, which costs you about $20. They used a loonie and a quarter. If it exceeded the loonie and a quarter thickness, it was deemed to be greater than the allowable.
So they're just making up
No.
their own kind of specifications here? Is that what's going on?
Oh, definitely. Further to that, they demanded that the supplier provide a level of quality greater than the original road. Now, this contractor's recycling that material, and he's got to make it a higher quality than the original. This was one of the criteria they used to oust him.
Knowing
on top-
full well the reason why they got him was because he was recycling and was because it could save money and it could, be an innovative way, cost-saving way, and environmentally friendly way to help with the roads, right? So that they knew this going in. That's what this is. So they didn't expect
Well-
him to have brand new pavement and be better quality than the original pavement was in the first place.
I can't say what they expected because they certainly didn't demonstrate what they expected. So now they even went out and did boreholes first, and they knew the condition of some of the roads before they allowed him to start. And they handpicked the roads that he should have to do. He was supposed to lift 50 millimeters of asphalt, reconstitute it, and put it back down again. At 50 millimeters, he was digging up gravel.
Ouch.
Now, how do you get anything to bond to gravel? Like, gravel is granular. You need a layer in between that is solid, and that's why you have the base asphalt, 4 inches of asphalt before you put the topping on.
So what does
They
that
didn't
tell
do
you?
that.
What does that tell you about the previous paving job if he was digging up asphalt at that depth? I mean digging up
Well,
gravel.
The previous contractor got paid his full amount for doing the road properly.
Even though,
It wasn't.
correct. Just want to make that clear.
Okay.
So it was already a subpar job, wasn't as much asphalt as should be there by regulations, the city's own regulations. So the previous contractor got away with it, got full pay, didn't have to leave the city, didn't get his contract canceled, did it improperly. In comes these other guys with this innovative way to do it, and they're just doing their job. And here they are digging up this, asphalt that wasn't even done properly in the first place. Go ahead.
Yep. Well, and on top of that, the previous contractors, at the same time as this contractor was doing his job, they were doing work in front of the Silver Hills Shopping Center. And I'm sure you remember that because the traffic jams and everything else there. Maybe I just missed it, but I never saw any core samples taken on the paving job that they did there. On the 1.5 or 2 kilometers that this contractor did, they took over 100 core samples. Now that's 100 pre-drilled potholes. Now, his paving job was good enough that those potholes haven't erupted yet. But they actually took core samples out, and there's photos that they supplied showing water at the bottom of the core hole. Well, that was down below the 2 millimeters or 50 millimeters he was supposed to redo. And there was water in the bottom. Well, where'd the water come from? These roads are supposed to be drained down to 5 feet below the surface to avoid frost problems. They're not. And when Mr. Chakudi, and now I understand Mr. Rocca is doing the same thing, blames it on freeze-thaw cycles, of course it has a problem, but it's not because of the freeze-thaw, it's because they don't get rid of the water.
Yeah, it's because the
The
engineering
freeze-thaw-
of the roads and the construction of the roads in the first place aren't done to code.
Absolutely. And if you don't believe that, go out and get on one of the MTO roads. How many potholes do you get into? I know you go to Espanola quite regularly. How many potholes are there in the recently done repaving going out towards Espanola from Whitefish?
Nothing.
You haven't seen a one, have you?
No. Espanola
No.
itself has some of the best roads I've driven on in the north, actually, to tell you the truth. And I was speaking with one of the people in charge of the construction here, and he was telling me that's because we do it right here. And then he was telling me how Sudbury cuts corners and all these things and whatever. And he says, I said, do you want to come on the show? And he goes, no, I can't do that. I said, okay, but you're an expert. He goes, yeah, I know, but you know, I can get in hot water if I put my neck out on the line and, you know, really say as an expert what's really going on.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the expert bit, because after they kicked RSR off the job, I contacted an expert, a true expert from Queen's University in Kingston, a guy named Simon Hess. He's a PhD, and his main thing is in physics and in pavement, asphalt. In fact, I have 15 of his peer-reviewed technical papers on asphalt. The guy knows his job. Prior to starting this pilot plant work, I believe it was Bill Leduc, had him come up from Kingston to address council. Council wouldn't let him speak. Now, this guy is a well-recognized expert, and there's only 2 of them in North America with that degree of respect in the community. The other one lives in Florida. So I contacted him, and I caught him as he was going to be coming from Timmins back towards Kingston. So he agreed to come through Sudbury. Now, this is after the pilot plant work had been aborted. He met me on the Kingsway. We looked at the asphalt surface that RSR had put down, and he said, there's nothing wrong with this. This is good paving. And he has worked with the town or the region of Durham in Southern Ontario and RSR on their asphalt recycling, hot in place recycling. That is what the award is being awarded for by Good Roads.
Now speaking of this award, I just want to get it up on the screen here for everyone to see. So here's someone congratulating RSR, Road Surface Recycling, the very company you're talking about. They're receiving the Good Roads 2025 Municipal Paving Award for their hot in place recycling, the very program we're talking about that was done here in the city, that our city said that it was subpar and wasn't good enough for Sudbury apparently. But Durham region is giving them an award. They say that it's demonstrated exception. Go ahead.
No. Good Roads is giving Durham region the award.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Yes.
In partnership with RSR for the excellent job they did.
Yes.
Now, the gentleman that you see in the picture there is the manager of the roads in Durham.
Yeah, and he contracted Road Service Recycling, and the reason why they're getting the award is because of their work in the region, correct? Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
So here's an award-winning recycling road service company that is getting awards for their work, but again, Sudbury said that it's not good enough. Isn't that the most ironic thing you could think of? Sudbury of all people saying it's not good enough for here, and we're like the pothole capital of the world, and here they are getting an award for their work in doing roads right. Well,
on top of all that, the award is from the Good Roads Association, of which Sudbury is a member. Okay? The Good Roads Association has 428 members, including 2 Indigenous communities, or not including, but additionally 2 Indigenous communities that sit on the committee or the association. They've been in business since the late 1800s. Good Roads. It was called the Ontario Good Roads Association. It's now just known as Good Roads. This is not a new organization. These are not amateurs at the wheel. These are people who've been doing it, for close to 200 years now, looking for ways to make roads better. And they're giving an award to Durham and RSR for the excellent work that has been done. And we couldn't even run a pilot project. No. Durham did a pilot project in 2023. They did a webinar on the work that was done. I attended the webinar because I couldn't believe it when I saw the report that was put out by Sudbury in 2022 or 2023. The webinar was in 24. Sorry about that. So I've been following the RSR hot in-place recycling progress since 2023 to see where it took us. When I saw this announcement on LinkedIn from the region of Durham and Good Roads awarding them for it, I couldn't hold back. I had to publish it.
For sure. I think Sudbury needs an award for the things we do like this. You know what I mean? It's like, it's beyond, it's out there. It's like the only city in Canada with a university that goes bankrupt. The list goes on and on. You know, the pothole capital of the world telling an award-winning recycling paving company that they're not good enough for here. I think, you know, I'd have not enough time to make this list, but it would be a long list.
It would? Oh, yeah, Bob just reminded me, and on top of all that, this company gives you a 5-year warranty. Not a guarantee, a warranty. If there is a problem, they come back and fix it.
Yeah, I know.
And they've done so.
But we can't have that because there's construction companies that are making tons of money from coming in a year after they do their job and getting paid from taxpayers' money with no warranty, no guarantee, nothing. So they can't have that.
When there was a problem on the Kingsway, they actually offered a 5-year warranty to come back and fix any problems with what they were doing in the pilot work. And it was turned down.
Yeah, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does.
But you brought up experts, and the line we get all the time from the councillors is that they have to rely on the experts at the city. Well, tell me where they are. Identify them for me. I would like to talk with one of them, especially one on asphalt.
The administrators, you mean? The administrators?
Well, no, the experts. I mean, council members have told me many times that they rely on the experts at the city.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who are they? I'd like to talk to one of them.
For sure.
Like, I've been in the engineering business for 60 years. I've run big projects, small projects. I've been in charge of design on different projects. I'd like to know who these experts are because I've dealt with experts for 60 years. True experts. And you can't get to talk to our experts? Well, all the experts that I've done work with were all more than eager to share their expertise with anybody that would listen.
You are right. Any expert in any field, in any area, for any period of time is more than happy. They love talk. That's why they're experts at it. They love doing what they do. And yeah, you're right. And unfortunately, we are more than out of time. We're 4 minutes over already. But I just thought we needed to kind of get that whole story out there and really unpack that. So thanks again, Tom, for being on. We really appreciate you and your insight and bringing this to the forefront. And we need to do more of this and continue talking about this. And it would be really good to have the owner of this company on the show at one point in time to get it right from the horse's mouth as well. So if you're able
if you'd like to, I will contact him and you give me a date and I will set it up.
Let's do that. So that's our homework for now. And Bob, thank you very much as well for being on this morning.
You're welcome, my friend, and I drive a Dodge so I can dodge the potholes. Take care, my friends.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, everyone. Avoid those potholes today if you can, because it's cold and potholes and cold don't mix very well. Thanks for listening. We'll stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU 96.7 FM. Remember, it is Pledge Week, so you know what you got to do. And remember to stay aware, like, share, take care. We'll be back same time, same place, on the same platforms, God willing, tomorrow. Ciao for now.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.